Can I be honest with you about something? I am a pastor. I pray every day. I serve God with everything I have. I love what He has called me to do. And there are areas of my life right now where God is completely silent. Not silent in the sense that He has abandoned me. Not silent in the sense that He is not real or not good. But silent in the sense that when I bring certain things to Him in prayer, my finances, my future, my marriage, He is not giving me the answers I am asking for. He is just saying, trust me. And here is what makes it even more interesting. At the same time that God is quiet in those personal areas, He is moving powerfully in my ministry. The church is doing well, people are growing, things are happening that I could not have planned or produced on my own. So God is not absent, He is just selective, moving in some areas, quiet in others, and asking me to trust Him with the areas I cannot yet see. If you have ever been in a season like that, where God feels silent in the things that matter most to you, this video is for you, because I want to share what I have been learning about what it means to wait on God, and why His silence is not what we think it is. Let me give you some context. My fiancée, the woman I am going to marry, is leaving for a year as a missionary, and because of that, our wedding has been moved to next year. On paper, that sounds like a delay, like something going wrong, like two people who love each other being kept apart when they should be coming together. But here is what I have come to believe in my heart. This is not a delay. This is God's preparation for her, for me, for what He is building in both of us before He brings us together. I do not have financial stability yet. I am still paying off debt. I am still building something from nothing. And honestly, if we had gotten married on our original timeline, we would have been starting something before God finished preparing us for it. His silence on my marriage is not rejection. It is protection. It is refinement. It is Him saying, not yet, but soon, and better than you planned. And this is not the first time God has done this in my life. When I graduated from college, my plan was clear. I was going to serve in ministry immediately. I had it all mapped out. And then I was not accepted. The door I was so sure God had opened was closed. So I waited for 3 years. 3 years that felt like silence. 3 years that felt like nothing was moving. 3 years where I wondered if I had misheard God entirely. But in those 3 years, God was forming my character. He was shaping my vision. He was building the kind of heart that could handle what He was about to give me. And when the door finally opened, I walked through it as a completely different person than the one who had been turned away. I would not be the pastor I am today without those 3 years of silence. That is what God's silence does. It does not waste you. It prepares you. Truth 1. God's silence is not God's absence. The first thing I want you to understand is this. God's silence is not the same as God's absence. When a surgeon operates on someone they love, they do not talk to the patient the whole time. They focus, they work, they do what needs to be done in the quiet. The silence is not distance, it is concentration. God is often most at work in the seasons when He is least vocal. Psalm 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." He is not saying be still because nothing is happening. He is saying be still because I am happening. Stop striving, stop panicking, stop trying to force the answer. I am God, and I am already moving, even in the quiet. Truth 2. God's timing is not our timing. The second truth is one that has carried me through every silent season. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "Yet God has made everything beautiful for its own time. He has planted eternity in the human heart, but even so, people cannot see the whole scope of God's work from beginning to end." everything beautiful for its own time, not for your time, not for the time you planned, not for the deadline you gave God, His own time. And here is the part that strikes me most. We cannot see the whole scope of God's work from beginning to end. We see one chapter. God sees the whole book. We see today. God sees the finished story. His silence in your life right now is not the end of the chapter. It is the space between sentences where something important is being prepared. Truth 3. An inheritance gained too soon is not a blessing. This next truth is the one that changed everything for me when I found it. Proverbs 20:21 says, "An inheritance gained too soon will not be blessed at the end." Read that slowly. An inheritance gained too soon will not be blessed at the end. God is not withholding from you because He does not love you. He is withholding because He loves you too much to give you something before you are ready to carry it well. Think about it. If God had given me the marriage, the financial stability, the full ministry vision on my original timeline, I would have had the gift without the character to steward it. I would have had the blessing without the foundation to hold it. His silence is His protection. His delay is His preparation. He is not late. He is making sure that when the blessing comes, it lasts. Truth 4. Surrender your plans to God. Here is the hardest truth, and the most freeing one. One thing that has been constant in my life ever since I started serving God is this: my plan never goes according to my plan. Never. Not once. And at first that felt like failure, like I was doing something wrong, like God was not listening. But I have come to understand something. God's plan is not competing with my plan. It is completing it. He takes what I thought I wanted and replaces it with something I could not have imagined wanting, because I did not yet know what I was capable of receiving. Proverbs 16:9 says, "We can make our plans, but the Lord determines our steps." We make the plans. He determines the steps. Both are true at the same time. You are allowed to dream. You are allowed to plan. You are allowed to hope. But at some point, the most courageous thing you can do is open your hands and say, "Lord, your plan is better than mine. I surrender." That surrender is not defeat. It is the beginning of everything. If you are in a silent season right now, if God feels distant in the things that matter most to you, I want to speak directly to you. Do not panic. Do not doubt. Do not start running in a different direction just because God has gone quiet for a moment. A lot of people do exactly that. The moment things stop moving according to plan, they panic. They doubt God. They start wandering. They make decisions out of fear that they will regret in seasons of clarity. But I want to tell you what I have learned. The silent seasons are where God does His most permanent work. Not the loud seasons, not the seasons of obvious blessing and open doors, the quiet ones, the ones where all you can do is trust. My fiancée is leaving for a year as a missionary. Our wedding is pushed to next year. My finances are still being rebuilt, and God has not given me a detailed plan or a specific timeline for any of it. But He has given me something better. He has given me the peace that comes from knowing He is God, that His plan is greater than my plans, that what He is preparing in the silence is better than what I would have rushed into on my timeline. I want you to think about those 3 years I spent waiting after college. At the time, they felt wasted. Looking back, they were the most formative years of my life. God used every single day of that silence to make me into the person He needed me to be. Your silent season is not wasted. It is not punishment. It is not God forgetting you or changing his mind about you. It is preparation. And when you look back on it one day, you will be amazed at what God was doing in the quiet. Let me pray for you. Lord, I lift up everyone who is in a silent season right now. The ones who have been praying and waiting and trusting and still have not received the answer they are asking for. The ones whose plans have not gone according to plan. The ones who are wondering if you have forgotten them or changed your mind about them. Remind them today that your silence is not your absence, that you are working in the quiet, that what you are preparing in this season is more than they can currently see or imagine. Give them the grace to surrender their plans into your hands, the courage to trust you with the areas they cannot control, and the peace that comes from knowing that your plan, even when it looks different from theirs, is always better. Make everything beautiful in its own time, Lord, just like you promised. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you for watching. If this encouraged you, please share it with someone who is in a waiting season today. Subscribe for more honest conversations about faith in real life. I will see you in the next one. God bless you.